the URL called www.netsuite.com. You would provide your
Mm-hmm.
credentials called as email ID and the password. Okay.
Okay.
Once that has been assigned to you, you would be logging in for the first time. And as soon as you log in,
Yes.
this pop-up will appear.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, Other than there would be two-factor authentication, and depending upon the client account that you are in right now,
Mm.
based upon that, there would be two-factor authentication or an SMS code that would be sent to you. But this
Mm.
will come up after that, which is going to state a set of the security questions. So these
Okay.
security questions, yeah, these security questions are going to be there always. Let's say whenever you're going to log in with a new browser or a computer, or that time, or you have forgot the password at any point of time, you would have to mention the security question. So
Okay.
I would generally recommend to provide the last name of the security question as the answer. So if it is what is your childhood nickname, so it would be nickname. Okay? That would be my answer. Similarly, what in which other city, if you see this is the question, I would use the last word of this answer as my answer. Okay. I generally do it for my recall purpose so that I don't have to forget it later. Okay, that is the prettiest way of answering the security question.
Got
Okay,
got it. Yeah.
okay, and this security question is going to prompt you like for the five more times. So it is showing as four right now, but I have skipped it last time. So, but it is going to show me five more times if you click on remind me later. But once after that, on the sixth time, the system will not show you this pop-up, and you would have to enter the security question over here and save it. Okay,
So is this will be the one time or every time
one-time
whenever I use
activity.
to log in? Okay.
It
Thank
will be one-time activity as long as you have not changed your computer browser, or yeah, you are switching it from one laptop to another laptop or another
okay.
computer.
Okay.
Yeah, and now let's talk about this in NetSuite NetSuite UI. So you could see like over here, this is my name over being set up over here and the role in which I have logged in right now. Okay. Similarly, your name would be pop up over here. Now this is called as the home dashboard. Okay, this complete is called as home dashboard, and you can see by default we are there on the home icon. Okay. So on the if we are there on the home dashboard, then we can see there are different portlets, and this is called as the classic center administrator. I'm in the administrator role. Administrator has a classic center, and similarly based upon the role that you would be in for your client, it would have a different center type. So it could be an accounting center for an accounting role. That could be an AR analyst, AP analyst, accounting manager, or some you would be having a different customer service center for a customer service role. So depending upon the role, your center would be different, center type would be different, and based on that center type your portlets would look different, and it would be according to that role. Okay. So when I say portlets, so portlet means like this reminder portlet, sale portlet, key performance indicator, my calendar. All these are portlets. Navigation, subsidiary navigator. These are the portlets in the system. Any questions?
What are the uses of this portlet?
So the portlet is being used. It is like a kind of a tool that is going to give you a summarized view of whatever things that is going on. Like let's say it is a key performance indicator. So in the key performance
Okay.
indicator, it would give you the total bank balance. It would give
Hmm.
you, you can set up the, for the finance related guys, they can set it up, or the CEO can set it up for their own understanding that CEO has got to do with the finances, my total bank balance, what is going to be my orders, what is going to be my income generally, or
mm,
the company's finance team would like to know about it. So they would give you an overview of the current and the previous one and what is the change percentage. You can set up your own portlet over here and
okay.
do a comparison over here with the date range from the what date range you're going to set it up. Let's say this period, okay, and you're comparing it
Mm,
with the last period. So there is a checkbox of
mm,
compare which is being set up over here. Okay,
mm,
when you save it, so it would show you this period versus last period. Okay, there is no change right now. I think
mm,
there has been no transaction being set up. That is why it is showing us like the same thing. But if I try to change it, last fiscal quarter against last fiscal fourth fiscal quarter last fiscal year. Okay, let's take
mm,
this one. Let's see. So you would see there is a difference and there is a change of
mm,
4%. Okay, so
mm,
this is how
mm.
it is showing up over here.
Okay.
So this is again there is a portlet called as reminder portlet. So based upon the kind of functionality you wanted to set up on the reminder, let's say every portlet has got its own capability. So if you want some of the bills to be paid, okay, some of the bills to approve. When I say bills means your vendor bills, and like let's say some of the journal entries are needed to be approved or the invoices are to be rejected, you would save them. Okay, and whatever is going to be set up, you would find those pop-ups over here. It is just for the shortcut. Instead of navigating through the whole path, you just have come up over here and you would start seeing the bills. You would see the different accounts payable and everything. I'll come to this point later, but just for a clear understanding, this is how it is going to look like. Similarly, you would be seeing the calendar portlet. In this, if you are having any kind of event or any kind of task that is needed to be performed or a phone call that is needed to be made, you can set it up over here. You can see this plus sign is appearing. You can click on that. You can click on that what kind of event it is going to set up over here, just like what calendar you set it up on your phone call or a Google Calendar that we have it for the meeting invite. Similarly, for the NetSuite itself, whenever you're going to log in into the NetSuite, you could get this event or a phone call. And the thing is that even you can set up the event with the reminder, set it up on your you can set up the reminder via email or a browser and send like 15 minutes, just like we get it notification over here. And on your email ID, you would get up that notification as well. So this is how the system is going to look like. And I would show you some of the things over here, like your NetSuite login audit logs. So it is always going to set up, you could see the audit logs for the role and the username and the IP address and everything would set up over here coming from. Okay. So this is going to be shown up over here like that. And the bank reconciliation summary of the generally we called it as BRS or bank reconciliation statement, whatever you say it. So this is generally going to show up over here on your view, like what was the last reconciled balance and when it got reconciled on balance on match of the items, what was the accounts that were being used. So this was it's going to show up over here. So based upon the portlets, you can set up some of the portlets over here. You can click on the personalized things and you can set up your own home dashboard with the portlets that you're looking for. So when as you see there is already one calendar being set up. So you could drag and drop and create another calendar over here for your own reference as well. It will take some time to load. Similarly, you could see the sales right now, average sales deal today, this month, this week, this month, last month, this fiscal quarter to date, last fiscal quarter to date. So this is going to be set up over here. If I don't want it, I can just remove it back again. Okay, and it will go back in my personalized dashboard again. So you could see now again it has got showing me that there are four portlets that are still remaining over here. Okay, Each portlet has got its own functionality. Like you could have some report snapshots. Okay, you could have some KPI meters. I will go in little detail, not much detail like about what it works like, but I would show you that KPI snapshot works when you have a key performance indicator being set up, and from there you could set up your own sale. Like let me set it up. So you could set up your own. If you see like incomes, so invoices, hold on, customer income. Let's see if inventory sales are there. This month to date, this year, let's change the top five inventory sales. Nothing is pop up. Bank balance. Basically, this portlet will show up only if there are any transactions being set up over here, like last month versus month before last. So there are no transactions being set up, so nothing is going to show you up over here with this comparative of sales. Okay, but and you could see over here this month, last month, nothing was being done. Okay, so KPI meter, it is showing me like a total bank balance over here. I could change it from the to the forecast as well. Okay, this forecast for this month is showing as zero, so it is showing me as zero over here. Let's look for the total bank balance we have seen at orders again. It would go me and show me zero only. Okay, because it is taking the values being set up from your KPI that you are seeing right now. If I add up something over here in the KPI, okay, I would use this fiscal year or this month. It's nothing got added up. Let me set up for this year. Last fiscal year was the same quarter. I mean, I can change it to this fiscal year. It would show me eight over here. So eight new customers were being added up over here. Okay, this would be the sales that is going to be shown up over here. If I click on this is a report, I would come to that report as well. Now, if I go back, now if I go back, I can change my if I can change my new customer over here in the KPI, because KPI meter is proportionally working with the KPI indicator. So whatever you are going to set up over here with the period along over here, same changes would be shown up over here, and uh, the same total balance, forecast, incomes, all these will be showing up over here as well. Okay.
Mm.
These are some of the navigation portlets called as shortcut portlets. So, like based upon the roles, it would also differ. So I'm in the administrator. I can switch from one category to another category, like accounting analyst. So regarding accounting analyst, what all things are available for me, like importing the journal entries, memorize journal entry, reconcile credit card statement, bank statement. Then we have reports called as AR, aging, AP, aging, trial balance, balance sheet, income statements. All these things are there. In the master data, I have got items, vendors, customers, employees, allocation schedules. Then this is called as the chart of accounts with the class, location, and department. So all in all, I would like to say that this is the home dashboard with the different things available on your home page that you could do it. And then there is a settings called as uh, change of your email ID, change of your password, update the security question. So security question, if you remember, I have updated it for myself. Suppose you have forgot it. So there are two things. Either you would ask the administrator, he would change the password for you, and once he has changed that, you would have to use that same changed password to log in for the next time, and then you would have to again update the security question. That security question would pop up on your screen. Okay, but you can update your security questions from here as well. Like here, what is your current password, your current nickname, you would like to change it something else, I can do that as well. Okay, any questions so far?
The,
So we will start from the very beginning, like a company setup, and what are the what we have to follow to set up the company.
Right, right. So let's start with the creation of the company information first. By default, whenever you get in any credit customer account, you would be having the company information being set up over there. So set up company information over here. So in the administrator, you could follow this navigation path if you are having the administrator role. Okay. In the there would be the name of the company, legal name, if it is different from the current name that they are having. Okay. There would be having some logos of the companies that you can set it up over here. It would be around like something called like 114 pixels wide and 130 pixels high over here. Okay, that pixel format should be maintained in order to add up that uh, company logo over here. Okay, and if you wanted to get it displayed internally, let's say I would check this checkbox if I save it.
we are not able to see the setup. We are only seeing the home dashboard.
Oh, okay. Trying to say that for this is always going to be shown up in your system whenever you are going to get in any fresh account as well from the company as well. Let's say you are in an implementation phase. Always this
Hmm.
company information is going to come up over here, but you can have a check with the organization if you are on the client call. You can ask them that whether you would like to change the company name, legal name, what would it is going to be look like. So since this is my demo account, so I have it is ERP fundamentals over here. Okay. Now we have the logo. So logo of the company which would appear on the forms and the pages. Uh, so when I say forms and the pages, it could be the forms are like the records, any record that you are going to open in the system. Uh, it is going to like sales record, sales transaction record, or any invoice form or any other form that you would like to have it. On those, you would can set up your own logo. So the company would set it up with its own logo. When I check this checkbox of display logo internally, I could see this flag of US flag is going to show up over here. Okay. Now, the state or the country or the province in which you are working in. So this company is working in associated with the California state, country is United States. Similarly, different companies. It could be Canada, it could be some any African country, or it could be a European country or an Asian country or India, something like that. Based upon that, the country, state, province would appear over here, and you would have to select from here in the from this drop down. Okay, you would have to check it from the organization, but by default it would come up from while this account has been assigned to you, but you can have a quick check with the company as well. Okay, and some of the fields are disabled, like your currency is disabled, your country is disabled. So make sure that your currency, country, all these are being set up properly, and it is a one-time activity. Okay, you cannot change it once it is saved. Then if you are having any written email address, then you can set up that written email address over here. what is going to the email address of the company, you can set it up over here. This is the account ID. Every company has its own account ID, and you can check the account ID, and it is useful when you are going to raise a case with the NetSuite support team as well. They would ask you the account ID for the company in which you are working in. Okay, the time zone being set up by the company, the what is the fiscal first fiscal month. Okay, social security number, SSN number. I guess it is generally used for the US companies is required, and employee identification number over there. Never check this checkbox called as purge account, because it is going to delete the account. But I and never do it without any confirmation from the client. And
Will we
then
able to change this currency?
no, we can't change the currency. That is what I told you. This is a grayed out field. This is a disabled field. So
Okay.
setting up it, so set up company, sorry, set up accounting, sorry, set up company, and here we have called as subsidiaries. So this is the parent one by default. So this is going to come up over here by default from your company as well, or whatever you're going to set it up over here, it is going to set up over here as well. So this is the root company or the parent company, you can say. In the parent company,
Now, sorry. Now, if
yeah.
I select instead of US, if I select an India, and the company is you can say Reliance. Okay. So in
Mm-hmm.
that scenario, also this will be in US dollar.
By default, it should be India, but it would ask you the currency in which you are dealing in. Okay.
Okay.
You can set
Mm.
it up. So let's say, but by default, let's say if you have saved it, because this is going to be one time thing, some of the fields are disabled for you. If you are unable to make the changes at that time, after you have saved it and you forgot and you got get back over here, you find that these fields are disabled, then you would have to make sure that you either inactivate the subsidiary over here, you check this checkbox and save it, or you delete the subsidiary from the actions. Okay, so that before performing any type of transaction or the activity on the subsidiary, that would be easy for you to delete the subsidiary. If suppose if there is any transaction or a record being created against the subsidiary, and if you try to delete it later, you got to know that currency is misplaced, or something is being not defined properly on the subsidiary level, then first you have to delete those transaction or the records which are associated to the subsidiary. Then you are able to delete the subsidiary. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Under the address, you could see the address of this subsidiary. By default, it is going to come from the company information. That would be the same, or you set it up over here as well. It would be the same on the company level as well, because this is the root subsidiary, and by default this subsidiary is being created in the system. Now the fiscal calendar, tax fiscal calendar, that you would check it with the company. Like generally for US it is Jan to December, tax fiscal calendar is again Jan to December. For India, it is like April to March. So that is depending upon the company and in which fiscal calendar they are working in. For Canada, it is something different. I'm not remembering right now. So all these things are going to be set up that you can check it with your client as well. Now, I will just come on the Nexus part right now. So, Nexuses are the provinces or the state from where you are collecting the taxes. Okay, in US it is just available applicable on the sales transactions, not on the purchase transactions. Okay, I would show you where we can set the nexus up, but whatever the nexus is you are going to set up, We are going to associate those nexuses with those required subsidiaries that are going to fall under it, so that whenever any transaction is happening for that subsidiary, and if that state of that customer is present on the shipping address, and it is falling under the same nexus over here, then the calculation of the taxes for that customer will be done accordingly. Okay,
Sorry, can you please repeat again? Sorry.
let's say the customer belongs to California,
Mm.
and you have set up the nexus of the California in the subsidiary. And when you are going
Mm.
to use that transaction for that same customer and it is belonging to that same subsidiary,
Mm.
the system would also look for the nexus associated to that subsidiary. Okay,
Okay.
if
Okay.
it finds that nexus, it is going to calculate the taxes for that customer shipping address
Mm.
accordingly.
Mm.
If it doesn't
Mm.
find it, then it won't be able to do.
How many
Okay,
nexus can be created?
depending upon the states. So if there are whatever
Okay.
states that you are dealing in.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
based on in I'm
Can
talking
it
about
be
in US,
global?
but let's say in, yeah, let's say there could be three states only that in which your company is working in. So
Mm.
based on that, your
Mm.
nexuses would be calculated.
Okay. What about say for example subsidiary is going to export, so in that case it will be outside the state in which it is operating, so what will happen in that case?
Subsidiary for which? Sorry,
For
I
example,
didn't.
this subsidiary, okay, this
Mhm.
subsidiary is in California, say they are going to export to India,
Mhm.
so then
You
how
would
will
be
you set the
creating
nexus
another
for it?
subsidiary. Yeah, you would be creating another subsidiary, just like you would create a new subsidiary over here. So first, this is a hierarchy structure that you are going to define in the system.
No, no.
Okay.
What I was asking is the same subsidiary which you are referring right now. Say, for example, you said one subsidiary is, you showed me one subsidiary right now. Say
Mhm.
that subsidiary is, you say the nexus is for setting up the taxes of the respective states. For example, if
Right,
that subsidiary is in California, then if they are going to deal with Delaware or they are going to deal with another state in US, then the nexus will be calculating the taxes accordingly. Correct?
right,
Now, if that nexus, if that subsidiary is going to do a transaction with a country outside US, say for example,
right,
Europe,
right,
Russia,
right,
in that
right.
case, nexus is required, not required.
It would be required. That
Okay.
would access would be required for that. First, we need to create set up those nexus in the system.
Okay.
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 So setup accounting, I would show you how nexus is going to look like. So here you would be seeing the nexuses. Okay. So
Hmm.
for every country has got its own, let's say United States has two nexuses being set up over here. UK there is
Okay.
no being set up, or Canada there is one nexus for Ontario being set up. Okay. Some of the
Hmm.
depending
Hmm.
upon the country what they are going to have it up over here. You would
And
set up the state
okay.
and the country over here, and there would be a tax agency being set up by default, or you can set up your own tax agency if you have it. But system calculates what
Okay.
tax agency it is going to uh, call upon. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
Um, before coming to the nexus, let me just complete the subsidiary structure. Set up company subsidiaries. So this is how you could set up the parent-child relationship. Don't go with the elimination. This is I would talk about it in detail later. Just for understanding, to when you are making any transaction between two subsidiaries, and it would neither be a profit and loss, it would go under the elimination subsidiary. Okay, to offset the values.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, because at the consolidated level that would be the same value, but you're just transferring the money from one to another place. Okay, depending upon the scenario. So that is different, but overall in all, this is how the subsidiary, the parent company is there, then you could have the child subsidiaries under that parent company. Over here you could see, if I open this Australia, you could see the parent subsidiary is my parent company. Okay, you could see that fiscal calendar is different. your currency is different, the country is different. So depending upon the changes that you're going to set up, it is going to look different. Again, you can set up another subsidiary under which you can set up Australia as the parent company as well. So I can set it up like this. I can give a name like Melbourne or whatever you wanted to have it over here. Okay. That depending upon the kind of business that you are dealing in with. There can be about 125 subsidiaries being created in the system. Okay. And when I say 125, it doesn't include any elimination subsidiaries. It would allow all the subsidiaries. So it is like a 24 plus 1. 1 means the root subsidiary by default that would be created, and 124 subsidiaries, the remaining subsidiaries. Okay. And now coming to setup company, I'll go for department, warehouses, and classes. Departments. By department, you can understand it could be like your marketing department, engineering department, administration department, operations department, and so on. Okay, sales department. So these type of departments are being created in the system, and you could set up a department in the system. It could be applicable for all of your subsidiaries. Okay, suppose the sales department is available in all of your subsidiaries, you can select them. Okay, or if let's say if it is limited to, you see this include children checkboxes being checked, so that means
Mm.
it is going to inherit the same rights that is the parent company is having to its children. Okay,
Mm.
so if I just select only Australia, and if I check it or I don't check it, it won't bother me at all, because it would be now restricted only to Australia subsidiary. I can do a multi-select as well by pressing on control. I just wanted to restrict it to Australia, Canada, United Kingdom. Okay. Press control and select the subsidiaries for which you wanted to associate this department. Okay. But and you can save it, but I wouldn't do
I
that.
have one question. What do you mean? I have one question. What do you mean by this include children? I didn't understand.
Okay. So include children means if I select the parent company, okay, and if I check this checkbox, what all subsidiaries that are coming below this parent are Australia, Canada, Old Canada, United Kingdom, and so on. So all these subsidiaries will inherit the property from your parent subsidiaries over here for the sales department. Okay, so that means your parent companies will also show a department called as sale. Your Australia, Canada, Old Canada, and all the subsidiaries will also show the same department called as sales over here. So they are inheriting the property from the parent company. Okay, I don't have to do a multi-select over here for them. Uh, am I clear or do I need to explain more?
Okay, clear.
Okay. Similarly, you would be seeing the different departments up over here, and you can create your own new department from here, and you can give a name of the department like HR department, and you can select what all subsidiaries it belongs to, and you can check this checkbox of inclusion. You could create a parent-child relationship between the department. Let's say under the administration, there is a sub administration or subdivision of the administration that is going to come up. You can do that as well. Now, talking about setup company, and we would go directly into the warehouses. Okay, so warehouses are nothing but the location. You can I have renamed it to the warehouse, but you can change it to we can keep it as location as well. So every subsidiary would belong to some or the other warehouse or the location for sure. So locations would be a virtual location or the physical location where you are going to keep the your inventory items or the stock. Okay. So if I try to edit this, I can give a name of that warehouse or the location. Like see can do I have given it that and it is associated to the Canadian subsidiary. Okay. I can give the address of the location over here and the written address of the location, which would be helpful when I am going to receive the item or fulfilling the item from my location into the location from into the location or from this location, or whenever I'm going to create any sales transactions in the system or a purchase transaction. So make sure if any item is available on this location, you check this checkbox of make inventory available. Okay. If you don't check it and if you create this location, that location will not show up uh, with any of the items available associated to that location over here. Okay. And one thing, there was always going to be only one subsidiary mapped to one location. It is a one-to-one mapping. Unlike department where we have one-to-many mapping, location is like a physical warehouse where you are setting it up. So it would be in the system, it is one-to-one mapping.
So it means if it is 125 subsidiaries are there, so 125 warehouses will be also.
No, let's say there
Hello.
are multiple location can be there. Okay, let's say can one, can two is also there. Let me show you. Uh, like this, if you see the country are being mapped over here. Okay, let me just open like can one, can two. I'll show you this can two. I've already shown you. It is mapped to Canadian. Again, there would be another location in the same subsidiary, but the name of the location and the mapping of that location to the subsidiary would be one to one. Okay, this
Okay.
is what I'm.
So,
Yeah.
can one itself be mapped to more than one subsidiary?
No, that cannot be done. That is what I'm saying. Can be done only
Ah,
one to
correct.
one
But then, if say for example, if there is a warehouse which is being used by two subsidiaries, can it then what should be done? I should create two separate names here.
Yeah, you have to create two separate names. The name wouldn't be taken by the system as well. And if let me show you a new warehouse. You see in the drop down also it is showing me a single.
Mm,
It is not a multi-select field as well. If I try to select it also, it
mm,
would select allow me to select only one subsidiary. And I have to give a name and it has to be a
mm,
different name other than the name that you created for the same location, but for a different
mm.
subsidiary.
Okay, so you will be taking this separately when you set up the system, or this is you are explaining this warehouse only. You will explain it now only, or later on also
I'm
we
just
will
giving
discuss
you
on
an
this
overview, like
overview. Okay, okay,
yeah, overview of the class,
understood.
location, and department. Okay,
Okay,
and the subsidiary structure because this is going to be a little with these are the basic things that we need to know first, like why we are creating this. Okay,
okay,
so the classes are nothing but the cost centers. Okay, you could say a business unit, the cost centers that you are working, getting a profit over here in the system. So classes are generally used for the wider segment of the business, like what class of it is going to belong to. So when I say you take the example of Reliance only. So in the Reliance, you have different types of departments like sales department, HR department, administration department. Then you have the locations, like which location it belongs to. Like in India there are different locations: Bangalore, Hyderabad, Delhi, Gurgaon, everywhere. Then we have the wider segments, let's say the grains would be there. Okay, so what kind of, there would be different kinds of grains. Wheat, the category of the way grains would be classified as a wider segments in the uh, on the classes over here. So this is just another uh, um, reporting entity. You can say it as a
Mm.
reporting classification that you can use for your reporting segments. So this is why where the
I have
role
one
of class.
question. I have one doubt, please.
Yeah,
These classes, this class or tab can be considered as a cost center.
yeah, that is what the classes are being called as the cost centers as well.
So, like, if we want to transfer an inventory, like suppose, for example, we have to transfer inventory to a cost center. Take an example of a construction company. We have to transfer cement to a particular site. We can choose classes as the cost center and transfer inventory.
Yeah, but you in the NetSuite, we transfer it from you can transfer it, but that would be restricting the subsidiary. You would be transferring the item from one location to another location when you're transferring it, right? You wanted to
Yeah,
transfer
so
the
it is from location to location. But supposing in a location we want to transfer it to a new class, like class, the cost center. How do we do that?
tra- oh, I mean, you mean to say you wanted to, so you either can map the class to that item, okay? This is one thing, or you wanted to transfer it completely, is it what you're saying? Like transfer the.
Supposing we want to transfer 10 bags of cement to a cost center,
Mhm.
then this cost center would be, which form would we use?
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. We generally in a NetSuite, we transfer it from location to location, not from the cost center. You could see over here in the inventory transfer also.
Yeah, so the how does the costing build up in the classes in the cost center then?
No, no, actually, that cost centers that you're referring to is not that cost center that uh, uh, that is what I'm explaining over here in the system. So this cost centers are just for your reporting purpose only. Okay. They don't have anything to do with the transferring of your item from one cost center to another cost center. If you could have asked me that I would like to transfer it from location, I would have understood. But here in the NetSuite, it is like that you have to transfer it from location only, but there is no provision of transferring the item from one cost center to the another cost center.
So,
Not cost
Prabhajit,
center
what
to
will
from
happen is,
location to cost center.
no, that's what
Yeah,
Prabhajit. So, what happens is inventory movement will happen only from one warehouse to another warehouse. So, expenses only will happen from one cost center to another cost center. This is
No,
only
I'm
inventory
talking
movement
about
which
a
is there.
store. If you have materials in the stores, you want to transfer the
Mm,
issue the
mm.
material from the store. That is store issue slip
So
to a
that
cost
is
center.
that
There is
is
no
issue.
provision of
Correct.
that.
That is no, no. That is there. So that is issue.
want the movement of the
No,
material.
No,
like we
no.
have a location. We have a like California location. There is a store in California. It is transferring a particular item to a cost center in that location only.
Okay,
So
okay.
Rocky, what he's asking is like, say, for example, if there is a material and that is issued to a particular employee or particular person in a say, if, for example, a sample is given to a sales department. So how that will be captured? That is
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
so
Okay,
that is
I'll
basically
show.
issue of material from yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I would be showing you later. Like, let me just complete the basics for today so that the other people will get to know. But yeah, I would show you that internally it would work like. But yeah, when because I got confused when you said that transferring the item from location to class, so that made me little confused because we generally transfer it from one location to another location. So.
Yes.
Okay. Let me come back to this. And the class could be mapped to multiple subsidiaries, just like departments. Okay, one to many is mapping can be done for the classes over here again. Now, why I told about all these classification? So in the reports, if I go to reports, financials, I could open any income statement a balance sheet report. Okay, you could see there are filters at the bottom on the footer side. Okay, I can click on this income statement report in a detailed way. I can see that my department, I could select, instead of all, I would like to just select only one type of department associated over here called as engineering department. Let's see if there is any transaction associated over here or not. Okay, so there are some of the transactions being associated, like this journal entries are there in the income department. Okay, if I try to, you could see this administration department is showing up over here. Okay, and this, sorry, the engineering department, one, two, and three, four. So all these departments are being shown up over here in this journal entry. That is why in the income statement it is showing me like that. In the journal entry, this is the value of the advertising, this is the value of the gas and oil, and all the in which we have the different departments being set up over here. For just for the engineering, I'm setting up over here like that, just for the filtration purpose. Okay, if I would like to just find all the I wanted to know the income statement for my Canadian uh, warehouse. Let me refresh it. I would see the total valuation of the net income has changed over here as well, and it would show me the invoices, credit memos, or the payments being done um, against the these transactions. So income statement generally would be showing your incomes, expenses, other expenses. These transactions would be shown up over here in the system. Okay. Similarly, in the balance sheet, I can see and filter my balance sheet over here and see what all type of transactions are available here in the system with the department, warehouse, that is location, and the classes. So these are the basic transactions available in the system. Let me just see if I can show you any of the department. So in the accounts receivable, I can see this is the transactions that I'm seeing up over here. Similarly, you would be seeing a multiple reports appearing over here. Okay, so I would like to show you some of the basic reports like sales or sales by customer, sales by items. So let me try to filter it out from 1st January. Okay, there's only one transaction in the sale. There is an invoice. So this invoice, this is how it is going to look like. So so basically my agenda is just to show you first that what all our class, location, and department is. Okay, what is the NetSuite looks like, why we do these transactions in the system. Okay, so just let me go through the introduction. I've already it is a software, so I don't want to go in every detail. I just like to say that it is a SaaS based model which is running on a SaaS platform provided by the Oracle NetSuite, and it could perform the multiple activities in the system. Like it could manage your financials, it could manage your e-commerce billing, databases, marketing automations, and so on. So all of them are provided on a single platform by the NetSuite, Oracle NetSuite ERP. It can, and let's say you are performing any accounts related and contact related information goes into your e-commerce billing, your orders and invoices are coming back into your NetSuite ERP system, your accounts are going to come back in the ERP system. Similarly, all these flows are interrelated with each other. Okay. So I know, like today I have just gone through a very basic details of the NetSuite ERP.